Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to High Top Sports Network's presentation of WPIAL Girls Varsity Volleyball non-conference action here at Kiski Area High School. The Cavaliers will take on the visiting Hempfield Spartans. My name is Josh Reckengost, and in his second year in a High Top Sports Network uniform, welcome back to the one and only Kiski alum, Eddie Fuhrer. Eddie, welcome back.
Yes, it's good to be back here, the same gym where I got my start announcing, and we have a very good matchup tonight. Hempfield and Kiski area taking on each other in girls basketball, and Hempfield won their first two when they coming off the loss against Penn Trafford. Kiski coming off of 3 straight losses, all on the road. This is the first home game for the Cavaliers tonight, and this is the first home game for first-year head coach Dave Williamson.
Dave Williamson, you were giving me a little bit of background on Coach Williamson, a well-rounded individual, Eddie.
Yeah, teacher within the school district. He was my European history teacher in 10th grade. Experienced coaching in various different programs within Kiski Area High School. Recently served as the assistant coach for the varsity softball team. And he has daughters growing up, coming up through these programs, and has been serving as an assistant coach. He served on the lower levels, the JV and 9th grade coaching staff for the boys team. So it'll be interesting to see how he does now that he's the head coach of a varsity team for the first time.
Yeah, multiple sport coach, Coach Williamson. So looking to take over this Kiski area program. Last year's head coach Nick Dizon now at Avonworth after taking the Penn State Greater Allegheny job. But as I was telling you, Eddie, I spoke to Coach Dizon during the summertime, and he said, well, I'm actually going to be at Avonworth because that's the district in which he teaches. So all the best to Coach Dizon. Always enjoyed my time talking to him. He was always super helpful. But right now it's Coach Williamson's team, and the Cavaliers and Spartans about to get it underway. We're going to get ready for the national anthem and the starting lineups as the final 30 seconds tick off of the pregame clock.
It's a very young Hempfield team coming out today, and we're going to get to see them during the starting lineup go a bit more. But yeah, a team of very few seniors, a lot of players who returned.
Yeah, you told me that only 5 wins last year, but a lot of returning starters. So we were going to break right now for the national anthem, and we'll be right back with the starting lineups. Before we announce tonight's starting lineup, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with our national anthem. Singing tonight, Zoe Hall. Wow, beautiful rendition there by Zoe Holm, huh, Eddie?
Yeah, a player and a national anthem singer. We're going to get into the starting lineups here, first beginning with Hempfield, and in the backcourt for the Spartans tonight, it's going to be 2 junior guards, Sarah Podkol, who's the second leading scorer on this Hempfield team, and Ashley Hosnai, who's going to be joining her in the back. And then looking at the front court, the main scoring threat for this Hempfield team, it's the senior forward and guard, plays all over the court, Brooke McCoy, averaging 16.5 points per game for Hempfield. And she's going to be joined by Mia Shiplin and Ayana Martin for Hempfield.
Oh, just looking at the Hempfield lineup here, as you said, Eddie, a 6A team coming into this against a 5A team here at Kiski, but they got some size, do the Spartans.
Yeah, they really. And, you know, I wasn't talking, but I saw, you know, an interview that head coach Tom Brush did with local media. And what he said was that, you know, what makes Brooke McCoy such a good player is due to her size. You know, she can play guard, but she can also really go anywhere on the court that you would need her to.
So Kiski public address announcer Mark Flem getting ready to announce the Kiski area starting lineup here. I don't know. It looks like he's getting his music ready. Oh, yep. Here we go. The boxing bell ringing. Rest in peace, Mills Lane, longtime boxing official, passed away last week. Going old school with the what was this called? It's like Jock Jams or something on ESPN.
For the Cavaliers, their backcourt is going to be Abby Johns, Lexi Coliani, and then in the front court, Emma Peck, joined by Cora Coleman and Rakaya Garcia. All experienced players. One matchup that I can't wait to see between these two teams is you're going to have number 5 on Hempfield Podkol, and you're going to have number 21 on Kiski Coliani. Both of them are very strong three-point shooters. Coliani tied the school record with 9 last season against Freeport, so you're going to have 2 threats from outside for both of these teams matching up against each other all night.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna mention that because that game was broadcast right here on High Top Sports Network. Coliani just going crazy from beyond the arc in that game against the Yellow Jackets, and spoke to her dad afterwards, and he said, "What can I do to get that thing, a hard copy of that game?" So, anyone listening out there, watching out there, if you want a hard copy of the game, we can do that for you. It'll come on a USB flash drive, and it's a really cool keepsake. We've had several requests of those during our time here at High Top.
And the opening tip-off, it's going to be Mia Shipman and Rakaya Garcia. And it's going to be won by the Cavaliers.
Garcia getting up there on that tip.
Yeah. The 5'8" sophomore forward, Garcia, winning the tip. And the Cavaliers getting to work. Peck over and finds it right wing to Johns. Top of the three-point line, Garcia. Cavaliers sitting 1-3. Their lone win against Knock. As Johns puts that one up and off, rebounded by Podkol. And the Spartans get their first possession of the game. Over left wing, back up to Podkol. Spartans working on the perimeter. Gets it over to Hassan. Trying to work their way through this Kiski defense. Back to Podkol. In the corner, Shipman works past Garcia, puts it up. And rebound to the Spartans. Or not, maybe, as, yeah.
Jump ball on the floor there, getting tied up. Kiski out in a 3-2 zone, really trying to keep Hempfield outside.
Ball's going to be inbounded by Podkol. Sends it out. McCoy over back to Podkol, who banks it in.
Oh, man.
We talked three-point shooting threat. Sarah Podkol, the junior, had 18 in the win against Franklin Regional. She's on the board.
Didn't know the bank stayed open that late, Eddie.
Yeah. Cavaliers. Coleman over Garcia. Back, tries to get it to Cora Coleman. It's going to be poked out by Shipman. And under the basket on that right side, John's going to inbound. Gets it to Coleman, and up and good.
Good finish with the left there by Coleman, driving the lane. and able to just flip that one up and in.
6:20 remaining, opening quarter at Kiski Area High School. Inside and tied up. It's going to be on to Martin. Cavaliers force a turnover.
Yeah, that first jump ball went to Hempfield after Garcia had won the tip. Now forcing that turnover, getting in there, tying that ball up.
Dribbling across the logo is Coleman. Gets to the Johns. John drives in. She's averaging 16 and a half per game. Rebound Coleman. Coliani up and good. It's the 5'6" senior Lexi Coliani, and the Cavaliers are in the lead. Now over Hassan. Back to Podkol. Over in the corner, Shipman. McCoy trying to get open. Down in the paint. They get it over to her. Who's on the wing now. And rebounded by the Cavaliers. Taken up the court. Peck back to Coleman, into Garcia. Rakaya Garcia, the sophomore, going up. She is fouled, and she'll go to the line.
You know what? That was a really smart play down here. I believe it was Coliani. I'm sorry. It was Cora Coleman. Instead of getting another tie-up on that ball right there, she was able to pop it out quickly and get her team up the court. Another tie-up would have gone back to the Spartans.
Garcia makes the first at the line, and she's 2 for 2. Cavaliers a triple in front. 5:10 now remaining in the opening quarter here at Kiski. In the corner, back out McCoy, up and off. John's taking it up the court. Cavaliers up by 3. John drives in, and she's fouled.
Wow, she just hit another gear right there, Eddie. She saw an opening to get into the lane on the drive and took it in, able to draw that foul.
Yeah, Abby Johns is developing into such a good playmaker, and she's so good at seeing those plays that, maybe a lesser experienced player on this, very young Cavaliers team might not see.
That's a great point. She has certainly matured over the 3 years that we've gotten to cover her. She's really the leader of this team.
Johns off. Cavaliers 75% so far from the foul line. McCoy dishes it off, and the shot off by Martin.
Loose ball foul here against the Spartans. So that's already 3 on Hempfield. Just 4:41 left here in the first quarter.
Inbound pass back to Coleman from Johns, and Cora Coleman's going to take it up over Abby Johns. Screen set Garcia, and the ball in the hands of a Spartans player, tied up once again.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few of those already.
I know that Tom Brush, the head coach of the Hempfield Spartans, has a lot of confidence in this team's ability to potentially make a playoff run, but it won't be easy as the shot goes up. A very, very tough section for Hempfield. We're going to be facing the likes of Norwin, Seneca Valley, North Allegheny, and Butler.
Jeez, that doesn't seem easy.
Yeah, the Butler team that they're going to have to face in the section just beat the Kiski Area Cavaliers by 30 last week, so a very tough section as the ball's going the other way, taken away by Martin, just over the halfway line. And in the corner, no good. Coliani fights for it. And
another jump ball.
Yeah, Williamson wanted a foul there.
So I believe that's our 5th jump ball here in the first 4 minutes and 19 seconds.
I would get tired changing the possession arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Get a hand cramp.
Garcia. over Koliani. Finds Abby Johns. And blocked by McCoy out of bounds. Still going to stay Cavalier possession.
Oh, man, I thought that was pretty close to getting smacked off of Abby's thigh there out of bounds. But the official, much better view than I have, so stays with Kiski.
Johns. Back out to Garcia. And through the legs and taken away by Hempfield. They trail by 4. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Moves it in the corner, up from McCoy, no good. And a foul called before the shot was up. It's going to go against Coleman. Shipman was the one driving in.
I'll tell you what, Hempfield is getting open looks. They're just not able to knock them down right now, Eddie.
Yeah, Hempfield just needs to keep finding those same shots, and eventually they might start falling as Garcia takes it away, strips it out of the hands.
That was like a linebacker forcing a fumble.
Yeah, that shot is off by Peck, and here comes Hempfield. Shipman. And taken away, another turnover by Hempfield. Coleman over to Johns, and Abby Johns puts it away. Up 6, we have a timeout called by Hempfield.
Nice dish right there in transition off the turnover. Johns able to finish. And Kiski out to a 9-2 lead here early.
Yeah, if I was, looking at how good Hempfield was in their opening of the season tournament, they beat Franklin Regional. If I was considering what team I'd expect to have an early lead, it probably wouldn't be Kiski.
Well, Cavaliers, it is the home opener. So, get those juices flowing a little bit. First game at home, especially for the seniors on this team. And you want to come out, have a good start, and that's exactly what Coach Williamson's team has done.
Inbounding Hempfield trail by 6 in the first quarter. 2 minutes 27 remaining. 4 of the 5 Kiski area starters are on the board. As Shipman. Podkol over to McCoy. Back Podkol tipped. And another turnover forced by the Kiski defense.
Get those hands in the passing lanes. That's what coaches always tell you. Cavaliers able to do it right there, but they turn the ball right back over.
Yeah. John's called for the travel.
They tell you to get the hands in the lanes. They don't tell you to travel after you force the turnover.
Podkol over. McCoy still looking for her first points. As once again a pass is tipped and a travel is called on Hempfield.
So a little sloppy here right now, but You know what? Kiski forcing those turnovers by getting hands in the passing lanes, deflecting passes, and their teammates are ready to jump on it after they do.
The Hempfield offense averaging just over 50 points per game, as is ripped out in the hands of Rakaya Garcia. McCoy drives over Johns. Rebound for the Cavaliers.
It's been quite a scoring drought here for the Spartans.
As Johns takes it. Back to Coleman. Garcia tries to return pass to Cora Coleman, but it won't fool Shipman. Gets it over to Podkol, wide open and good.
Wow, that was a nice little stop and pop right there in transition. Big bucket, first in a minute for Hempfield. Well, more than a minute, that's just an expression.
Hempfield giving pressure in their own zone as the Cavaliers take it. It's going to be Coleman driving in and blocked on the way up.
Couple of blocks the last 2 possessions, Eddie.
Yeah.
But I like what Kiski's doing, trying to get to the hoop. That's what's worked for them so far in this quarter. But Hempfield tightening up the D down there on the block.
Podkol taking it up. She has all 5 of the points for Hempfield. Over to Shipman. In the corner. Finds Hosnai back to Podkol. Podkol return pass. Hosnai right wing. Finds Shipman. Cuts in past Koliani. And stoppage and play here.
Well, they're going to talk about it because I don't think they want to call a foul right here. Jump ball. That's what I'll tell you what. It has been the quarter of the jump ball, Eddie.
Do we have a WPIAL record for most jump balls?
Oh, that would be amazing if that stat existed because I think we're well on our way to breaking it. That's already 6 in this first quarter. I'll try and keep track in my head. We'll see how it goes.
Hempfield bringing the whole army up to provide pressure on this inbound. Garcia takes it up and they force the turnover. The pass over, tried to find Shipman. Hassan looked for her teammate, wasn't able to get it. Coleman driving in and fouled.
Nice Euro step there by Coleman to get around the defender, draw the contact, and get to the line.
Kiski have taken all 4 of this game's foul shots so far. And with that miss, they're now shooting 60% as a team. Wholesale changes for the Cavaliers.
Get those starters a breather here, final 6.6 seconds.
And the second one made by Cora Coleman. 6 seconds. This is taken down to court, and Hempfield up and good. It's Mia Shipman, the sophomore forward. And he'll cut it down to a 3-point game. Cavaliers up 10-7 after 1. Here at Kiski Area High School.
Boy, that's a bucket you don't want to give up right there if you're Kiski. You know, you're looking at the scoreboard. You're up 10-5. You're thinking, all right, we had a good start here in this first quarter. Our defense was able to force turnovers, and then you give up that bunny right at the end of the quarter on a long pass. And I think it was Garcia that jumped a little bit too early. If she would have held her ground right there and just stood straight up, it would have been a very, very much tougher shot.
Yeah, they only had 6 seconds to get that one down to court. So, not one that the Cavaliers wanted to give up. But we sit here 1 quarter through, and it's not really a high-scoring game here, as the Cavaliers have broken 10 points, held Hempfield to 7, which is well below their average for a given quarter. And the Cavaliers have to be happy with the amount of turnovers that they forced.
Oh, definitely. And I think that's what Coach Williamson's talking about right now. Look, you're doing a great job. You're frustrating these girls. The 3-2 is working. You're keeping Hempfield outside. Now, it's only working because Hempfield's not been able to knock down those open shots. If they do start knocking them down and Coach has to make an adjustment, he will, I'm sure. But right now, he's telling them, look, what we're doing is working.
And the team's coming out now for the second quarter. Cavaliers, 1 3-point bucket ahead of Hempfield. The leading scorer in the game so far is Sarah Podkol. 5 points for Hempfield.
Yeah, Podkol hit that 3 early. I believe it was the first bucket of the game. And then it seemed like 5-6 minutes that Hempfield didn't score, but a couple of baskets there in the final minute have the Spartans back in it.
Speaking of Podkol, she'll have the ball, and we're underway with the second quarter. Moves it over, right wing, cut inside as it gets to Shipman, and then to the other Shipman. The two sisters combining there.
Sure, they've done that in the driveway about a million times.
Johns in the corner, Coleman. Back Abby Johns. 1 point lead for the Cavaliers. 7 1/4 minutes remaining here. Just got started with the second quarter. Coleman with a great effort to keep a hold of that ball. Gets it to Johns and good. And a hustle play right around half court by Cora Coleman.
Yeah, got it poked away and able to track it back down and get it to Johns for that nice finish in the paint.
Both teams scoring on their first possessions. And another turnover forced by Kiski. Tried to find Ava Shipman. They couldn't reach the freshman as Coleman takes it up.
Hands in the lanes. It's working.
DeVito attempted to pass to Johns. Wasn't able to find her.
It's also working for Hempfield.
Yeah. In the corner, Bodsel, and she makes it.
That's a big bucket.
Podkol up to 7 points.
That's the thing. She was wide open right there, able to get set and knock down that three to tie it up.
Johns into the veto and blocked.
Wow, that was a big block. Great recovery right there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a foul on that, but the ref saw it completely clean. That was a beautiful play by the Hempfield defense.
Well, Hempfield, a lot of size underneath. They're in a 2-3, and that's what you run when you have tall girls.
Poliani, three-pointer off back iron, rebounded by Hempfield. McCoy. Podkol, Shipman, and McCoy currently sitting on the perimeter. McCoy was the one who took the shot and rebounded by the Cavaliers. Dancing in goes Coleman, and it's going to be off.
Now she tried that Euro again, just not able to get it to fall that time.
Hempfield trailing by 1, 5.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter here at Kiski Area High School. Podkol passing it back and forth with the sophomore Allison Cervola. Tried to get it over to the left side. Out of bounds.
Not a great look right there. I think it just might have gotten away from her whenever she tried to go cross court with that skip. Don't know if Cervola saw it.
Poliani. Back to Coleman. Over Lexi Poliani. Top right wing. She takes the shot. No good. Taken up by Hosnai. Finds Mads Pavarnik. Takes it to the top. Back on in the hands of Pavarnik. Out Hosnai. Hempfield looking to take the lead here in the second. As it's cut out by Garcia.
Great anticipation right there by Garcia to see that skip pass, get over and knock it away.
Substitution coming in for Kiski is the 5'9" freshman forward, Gia DeVito. Still Hempfield ball. Shipman. McCoy driving in off the pass from Hosnai, and she makes it. Brooke McCoy averaging 16.5 per game. She's finally on the scoreboard. This is poked out, still Kiski ball.
Boy, that was a strong move, too. She just kind of lowered her shoulder, created some space, got in there and finished high off the glass.
Johns. Cavaliers trailing by 1. Gets it out on the corner, and no good from Peck. Ava Shipman taking it up, the freshman. Quite a few freshmen out there right now, as that shot is up and off. Rolls around the rim from Hosnai, and Shipman up, and that one off as well. Out of bounds. Hempfield ball.
Yeah, that went off Coleman. Boy, she's really in there scrapping for those boards. Almost was able to hustle it down on the baseline, but the official saw her just touch the line when she tried to jump and save it. So, Hempfield ball.
Podkol and Mia Shipman checking in for Hempfield. Mia Shipman with the ball and off. That one's going to be Kiski ball. And we're going to see a timeout called by the Cavaliers. They've only scored 2 points so far in the second quarter.
Well, they're kind of experiencing what Hempfield did in that first quarter, Eddie. You're getting open looks, and they're getting open looks down here, especially Coliani 2 times from this wing. And when she let them go, she kind of gave a little hop thinking they were good, and they were just a little bit short. So she's just going to have to put a little bit more on the ball. Kiski kind of not being able to knock down their open looks. Meanwhile, Hempfield starting to go inside, which is what was working for Kiski in the first quarter.
Yeah, the team's kind of flipped the mentality.
Yeah. It's interesting how that works sometimes in a game, One coach will see what another coach is doing to him and be like, you know what, why don't we try this, do it to them? And it'll kind of flip things around.
As we sit here on High Top Sports Network, Hempfield out in front by 1. It's the number 1 place in the area to check out local high school basketball. It's right here on iTop Sports Network.
Yes, sir, Eddie. We got a lot of hoops on deck the rest of the week. You'll be back here on Thursday. And I'm actually going to be at the Belmont Complex doing some PIHL hockey. Armstrong and Greater Latrobe. That should be a really good game. And we also have another game on Thursday. It's kind of escaping my mind right now, but there's going to be plenty going on Thursday. I believe we have one game tomorrow as well. So if you want local sports, you know where to find it. High Top Sports Network.
Cavaliers trail by 1, 3.5 minutes remaining. Johns up and good.
Huge out of the timeout by Abby Johns.
The Kiski student section really getting into that one. Hempfield now looking to respond. 3:15 remaining in the second.
Oh.
And up and off by Hosnai. Johns had the bucket on the last possession over Koliani right from her spot. And off again. Koliani has yet to make a single three-pointer all night. Now flipped over into corner. Pavarnik, the freshman, finds Hosnai, and under the basket, the guard, Ashley Hosnai, works her way to the line.
Yeah, you kind of saw that coming. She got inside position, and it's really tough as a defender to just kind of stay on your feet and also get a little bit over the top to maybe deflect the ball, but 9 times out of 10, you're getting whistled.
First one from Hosnai is good. A key part of that win against Franklin Regional, Ashley Hosnai, the junior guard, had 8 points in a very tight game. And she makes both from the line. And we are tied up. 2:40 remaining in the first half.
Tied up. That's the theme of the first half here. A lot of tie-ups on the court, and we're tied once again on the scoreboard.
Coleman, double team. Johns, left side, shot up and off. And Hempfield's going to get to it. Some trouble getting the rebound. And into the ball, to the hands of Garcia, and a travel called on Koliani.
That's so tough. You work so hard to get that ball back, Eddie, right there. And Koliani just kind of a little extra, little stutter right there. And the official on it calls the travel. But they worked so hard to force that turnover.
Podkul heading up the court. Shipman to McCoy. Shipman looking for it inside. Backs her way in against Coleman and turned over.
Wow, I'd love to see the turnover numbers on both sides because each team, it's like kind of matching one another. They'll find a bucket and then match one another and then turn it over and match the other.
Coleman sends it over to DeVito. Cora Coleman. Still looking from the top over to the right wing to Peck. Back to Coleman. Over DeVito to freshman. Cavaliers not able to get it past the perimeter. Man down for Hempfield. A foul called. Looks like he'll go against the Spartans.
Yeah, and that's something that I don't know if Coach Williamson was intentionally trying to hold the final 2 minutes for the last shot, but it seemed like they were holding right there. And sometimes as a defense, you get frustrated. You kind of get overzealous, and you try for a steal, end up getting called for a foul.
What a joy we are to live in a state with no high school shot clock.
I know, right?
As Peck has it back. Kiski Garcia to Peck. Cavaliers still look in no mood to shoot the basketball. And turned over. Hempfield moving the other way. 55 seconds remaining. McCoy up and good.
Nice shot there. Hempfield not trying to hold for the last shot.
Hempfield leads by 2 to senior McCoy up to 4. As Johns puts that one up, it's wide. Is going to rebound into the hands of Podkul, who's going to get it up to Hosnai. Hempfield moving around, trying to build your lead. Podkul up. Tried to spin her way into a shot. No good. 20 seconds now. Over to Abby Johns. Coleman, Peck, and John sitting out on the perimeter for the Cavaliers. Closing seconds. Peck over to Coleman, and a foul called with 1 second.
Oh, and she's down. Not sure. Well, popping back up. That's number 24 for the Spartans.
Is Gabby Kochia.
24 for the Spartans. Ayana Martin, actually.
Oh, Ayana Martin.
That's what I thought it said. I didn't know,
Yeah,
though.
24-25.
I was trying to read it real fast. But I just heard public address announcer Mark Flem mention the name, so Martin checks out. Looked like she was okay. She went down immediately. I thought it might be a shoulder the way she collided. Oh, boy, that's nearly over and back.
And that's off the backboard. And that's the end of the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eddie. I mean, give credit to Hempfield. Come out here, only score 7 points in that first quarter, and, looking real cold from the perimeter. And they were able to battle back. They used the defense to their advantage to get back in this game. And they started hitting a couple of shots. You could see the confidence build on the offensive end. And then Kiski, as we said a little bit, prior to the end of the quarter, it was kind of like the mentality or kind of like the flow of the game was reversed because as Hempfield struggled from the field in the first quarter, Kiski began to struggle from the field.
Yeah, Kiski missing a lot of shots. They tried to slow down the play. They tried to create open looks, but nothing was really falling, especially those three-pointers. They took a bunch from that right side of the court, and they sit here trailing. And I liked what I saw from Hempfield's offense in the second quarter. I saw, Brooke McCoy is the real, main scorer of this team.
The real McCoy.
Yeah, she didn't have a
dad joke.
She didn't have a single point in the first quarter, but you saw her moving inside, moving out to the wing. She was running all over the court in the second. Got a few baskets towards the end.
Well, welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Eddie Fuhrer. Eddie, out at Lehigh, doing big things out there at Lehigh. Tell the folks what you're up to out there.
Yeah, I've been working with the wonderful crew with Patriot League TV. We have a exclusive agreement for streaming games through ESPN Plus.
Nice.
And I've been doing it all for ESPN Plus. I've been on play-by-play on color. I've been directing the broadcast.
Wow.
I've been on camera. Yeah, they really try to make sure that you get the chance to do everything. And man, it's a really hard schedule sometimes for football games, especially. I'm sometimes getting up at 7 a.m. I'm not back at the college until 5 or 6 p.m.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's all an incredible experience. And just very few people would be able to do what I get to do at my age.
Yeah, for sure. You get an experience, and once you hit it big, don't forget the little guys. Don't forget High Top.
They don't do it at ESPN like they do it at High Top.
That's right.
I can tell you that.
You told me that right when I walked in, and you know what? That made me smile big because I didn't know if it was a compliment or not, but I took it as one.
Yeah, it's just the sense of community here is unmatched.
Well, we're glad to have you back, at least for about a month. Around the Christmas holidays, we'll obviously be doing some tournament games, and Kiski, grateful to have you back. We saw Athletic Director John Peterman. He kind of yelled up here to the press box and asked if you were going to sing the national anthem, and you said, "Hey, I've got choir experience." I said, "I want to see that before you go back to Lehigh, down on the court prior to the game. Instead of Zoe Home, we're going to get Eddie Fuhrer."
Yeah, I was always presided a bunch of PA announcing back when I was in high school. I was always the emergency backup.
Oh, nice.
I never ended up actually singing the anthem.
Well, we got to make that happen for you here, especially since this is your alma mater. I think it would be only fitting.
Yeah, this is a big sports week for Kiski. Tomorrow night, one of the most coveted rivalries in Kiski area athletics, Kiski-Borough and wrestling.
Oh, yeah, man. That is a battle every year. And, I mean, I was going to say, well, it doesn't matter what the records are, but, I mean, both of those teams consistently just so good, sending multiple state qualifiers, teams as state teams, you know what I mean? They're just, that is a real deal rivalry, Eddie. Great call.
Yeah, and I got the chance to see, I think it was Joey Bloomer, who used to go to Kiski area, wrestle in front of a sold-out crowd at Lehigh's basketball arena last week whenever Lehigh took on Penn State.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we have a lot of, Lehigh being a big wrestling school, we have a lot of former Kiski area Cavaliers who come in. We're going to have Sammy Starr from Navy. He's going to be wrestling here in February. Darren Miller, who he either won a state tournament title or he got really close at Kiski, but he's wrestling for Bucknell, so he'll be in town soon.
Yeah, Bucknell also a good wrestling school. I was out there for about a year plus prior to the pandemic as the sports editor of the Milton Standard Journal. So we covered Bucknell right down the road in Lewisburg, and big wrestling school out there too.
Yeah,
It's always cool to see how many kids from Western Pennsylvania end up going to these bigger schools out east, or bigger schools anywhere, really. Think about it. I mean, this is such a hotbed of wrestling talent. Everybody always thinks about, oh, well, this is a football factory, which it is.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from the football prestige and legacy of what this area has produced. But, I mean, wrestling is right up there. I mean, my alma mater, Katanning, produced Jason Nolf, one of the greatest wrestlers in high school history and collegiate history. I mean, just an absolute marvel coming out of a little town like Katanning, and it's like that all over this area.
Yeah, I get a little bit of pride when I see Spencer Lee doing great things for Iowa Franklin Regional.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, somebody just took a spill coming out there. Poor girl tripped on the carpet there. I mean, she's sharing a laugh. Let's see who that is. I'm gonna shout her out. Oh, that was DeVito. Katarina DeVito, she tripped over that carpet coming out of their locker room right there, took a spill, and luckily she was at the end of the line, Eddie. I think only like one or two of her teammates saw it. So luckily for DeVito, not having to hear it from the rest of the team for biting it on the way back into the court.
A bit over 2 minutes remaining in the break. It's a 2-point game. Very close here.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when the two coaches I'm sure the first point that both coaches made in the locker room was stop turning the ball over so much.
I think that they would prefer, missed shots to turnovers.
Yeah, at least getting the shots up. And I'm sure that both teams, when they got those shots, they might not have fell, but they were all open.
Yeah, they're open looks, and that's what you work your offense for. And especially I thought Hempfield in that first quarter, they were doing a good job working through their offense. In the second quarter, they got a little bit too aggressive, tried more skip passes, and some of those got knocked away. One got thrown away, a couple got stolen. So it's kind of like stick to what's working. Yeah, like you said, you might not be making those shots, but they're open looks, so keep working through your offense.
The team's back on the court. Warming up, we're going to have the second half for you very soon at High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned. This game is going to be on course to have a great finish, I can sure tell.
Oh, for sure. Eddie and I will be back in just about 60 seconds. One.
And we are back here. Second half basketball from Kiski Area High School. The Hempfield Spartans lead the Kiski Area Cavaliers 17-15. And the Cavaliers going to inbound. The trigger is Coleman. And she'll get it to Abby Johns. We are back underway. And Johns gets it over to Peck. Back up Abby Johns. Left side Peck. Johns, Koliani. And moving it inside, something we didn't see the Cavaliers do much of in the first half.
Well, they did it in the first quarter a little bit. It worked, but that was more in transition. It wasn't like set plays trying to get it inside.
Hempfield up 2. Moving it around. McCoy over Ava Shipman. Back out from Hosnai to Ava Shipman. Podkul over McCoy. Back Hosnai. And Hempfield slowing this game down as foul called. And they go against Garcia. Stopped Mia Shipman in her tracks. Been under a minute played so far in the third quarter. Hempfield still under first possession. Out to Ava Shipman. Flicking to the corner, McCoy. No good. And taken up by the Cavaliers.
That was just in and out by McCoy. I mean, if that thing falls, it's in a 5-point lead, but lucky for the Cavaliers, in and out.
Stripped out of the hands of John, still Cavalier possession. 6:48, just under the left side of the basket near the Kiski bench. Gets it out to Coleman. Back Abby Johns, up and good. Johns has 11, and the Cavaliers have the lead.
Boy, that was pure all the way through easily there. Nice shot by Johns.
Hosnai attempts the long pass and moving around beautifully is the Spartans. And shot up from Hosnai out of play.
That's one where you get off the ground right there, Eddie, and you kind of hesitate because you're like, oh, should I shoot this or should I pass? She came up a little bit short, so another nice break there for the Cavaliers.
John's taking it up, has 11 of the 18 points for Kiski. Moved into Garcia. Rakaya Garcia backs in and makes it.
Talk about using some footwork and clearing out some space. Rakaya Garcia, beautiful move right there down low.
McCoy looks to answer, and we have the ball stuck to the side of the rim.
You jump up there and get that, Eddie.
Maybe if I had a few more inches on it.
I was going to say maybe I could have done that 20 years ago. Yeah. Well, the official gets a little round of applause from the Hempfield bench there because he popped it out with another ball and it went through the hoop. But guess what, girls? That doesn't count for you. They know that.
Timeout called by...
I think it's a full timeout by Hempfield.
Yeah. So we get a minute to breathe.
Yeah, you know, the score wouldn't indicate that it's back and forth, but it really is just because of the turnovers. We're talking like, you know, the game is moving up and down the court, but nobody's really scoring all that much. It's just turnovers, missed shots, you know, back, forth, back, forth. Pretty soon they're going to start falling, though, Eddie. That's usually the way it works.
Yeah, Cavaliers grabbed the first 5 points of the third quarter. Makes Hempfield take a timeout, but yeah, I could see the scoring turning around a bit as we move further into the second half.
Well, Hempfield already out there in their box. They're showing what they're going to run at least.
It's less of a problem here than it is at ESPN because at ESPN we'd be like, hold up, we have these commercials.
Yeah, exactly.
Still there, but we keep the game rolling here. It's inbounded by Hempfield.
Yeah, when we do actually have commercials, we have to go down and beg for media timeouts. It's not like they just give them to us.
Shipman, Hosnai, covered by Koliani. Spartans moving it around. They trail by 3. Down inside, Shipman, and taken away by the Cavaliers. Good defense by Coleman.
That was great defense. You took the words right out of my mouth there, Eddie. Woo!
Koliani drains it in front of the student section. Cavaliers have their largest lead of the night.
Well, she seems to have found her range from distance here. And that's bad news for the Spartans.
McCoy taking in Shipman, attempts a shot over Garcia, finds the other Shipman. Ava puts it in.
I don't know if that was a pass or not, but it looked perfect.
Yeah. Cavaliers up 4:45 remaining in the third quarter. Inside Garcia again.
What a dish. That was smooth.
This is really one of the things that I'm seeing that's different from this year's Kiski team to last year's. You normally see, Rakaya Garcia was, she'd move around, she'd make great plays on defense as Hempfield throws it out of bounds, but she'd make great plays on defense, but she wouldn't really be a scoring threat per se.
Right.
But now she is.
Well, she's taken a real jump just by seeing her a couple times so far in this early season. Saw her at the Armstrong tip-off tournament as well. And, it seems like she's taken a real jump inside, as you said, finding that scoring touch.
Coleman for the Cavaliers, screen set by Peck. Back to Emma Peck, up for three. And a foul called.
Well, Peck got tied up right there and knocked to the ground. Coach Williamson telling her to stay down, but her teammates pop her right back up. So good to see that. She was just trying to follow her shot there. Kind of got knocked to the ground. I think it was McCoy might have run into her. Obviously, incidental contact.
Yeah, I think it sounded like she hit her head down there. So, Coach Williamson just making sure before they drag her up that she's okay. Coliani, another free.
Oh.
No good. Rebound Garcia. And off. And that was about as close to falling as Coliani could have asked for.
I know. When she let it go, I thought it might be good, and it just started to trail to the right just a little bit. We have such a great vantage point up here, Eddie, that we can kind of see, what the ball looks like coming off of a girl's hand.
John's taking it up to coast on her own, and it's going to bounce off of her, turning the ball over.
Yeah, that's good hands by Hempfield right there to smack it off of Abby's thigh, knock it out of bounds.
Shipman backing on the three-point line to Martin. McCoy still held to only 4 points.
That's a charge.
And a charge and called.
That's 3 on McCoy right there. And, I'll tell you what, she extended that arm. It really left the ref no choice, but you had to call it.
11 points is the least that Brooke McCoy scored in a game this season. She's sitting at 4 in the third quarter.
Now, give credit to Kiski for that, Coach Williamson. Good game plan here to try and limit McCoy, but right there, that's a little frustration on McCoy's part right there, trying to drive and just pushing her defender out of the way.
John tripped up. It's going to go against Ava Shipman. 2:59 remaining third quarter. Coleman over corner, Coliani, and misses it from in front of the Kiski bench. Oh, wow.
Man. Garcia, that was like a cornerback intercepting the ball right there. She was off to the races, but a foul call on Kiski.
That looked like a football play with
the
interception and the late hit.
Yeah. Just stops the play.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of that on Sunday.
Hosnai sends it back to Martin. Shipman tries to find Hosnai. Garcia defending. Forced to dish it out. From the three-point line, it's Podkol.
Little back English on that one. Drops it for Podkol.
Up to a one-possession game. Podkol up to 10. Leading all Spartans in scoring. Coliani out Coleman. drives in, and travel called.
Yep, got that one extra when she picked it up, and I thought, ooh, that's going to be close, and the official was on it.
Kiski leading this game with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. A very low scoring game by the standards of both of these teams. Hempfield averaging over 50 points per game. Kiski averaging above 45.
Well, right there you saw a little pick and roll, trying to get that entry pass, and Abby Johns was ready for it. Smacked it away, another turnover.
Garcia over to Johns. Up and good!
Oh, that's ice cold right there.
Johns with half of the Cavaliers' points. The lead back up to 6.
Boy, no hesitation by Johns right there. Just as soon as she caught that ball, quick pull up and good.
Hempfield looking for an answer. Gets it to Martin. Top of the three-point line. Tries to pass into Hosnai. Taken away by Garcia.
Boy, there Garcia got her interception, Eddie.
Yeah.
She looked like a cornerback playing that ball.
Coleman into Garcia. Back to Coleman. Fouled.
49.2 seconds left here, Eddie. Looks like Kiski's starting to click a little bit on offense.
Yes, it does. Kiski has had their fair share of attempts at the line. They're 4 for 6 for the game. Make that 5 for 7. Coleman is up to 4 points. And up from Coleman again. Off, rebound Garcia. And tied up. Jump ball. Kiski possession.
I'll tell you what, I really like the game that Garcia's played here. Real physical, going after the ball, rebounding, playing D, scoring inside. I mean, she's done a great job.
Johns up and no good. Tipped out. Hempfield ball.
And also, just to go back to Garcia, also has 6 points in this game, so doing a little bit of everything for the Cavaliers.
Spartans trail by 7. Half a minute left in the third quarter. Back Shipman over Hosnai. Shipman sets the screen. Tries to get the pass back to her. Intercepted by Johns. Johns moving up coast to coast and no good. Rebound Garcia. No good. And a foul on the play.
You got to get one of those two if you're Kiski right there. 2 good looks. And that play made possible by the defense once again, forcing a turnover.
Another foul for Coleman. She's up to 3 fouls on the night. Closing seconds. Hempfield got a basket right at the end of the second. Will they get one at the end of the third? Over, up, and good.
Wow.
Sarah Podkol. She has 13. And it's a 4-point game here at Kiski Area High School, 29-25 in favor of the Cavaliers.
Wow, you got to give Podkol credit right there because she knew. It didn't look like the rest of her team really knew how much time was left on the clock, but she knew it as soon as she got it. I mean, she might have pulled it maybe a second before the clock, but I mean, she knew she had to get rid of it as soon as she got it in her hands. Give her credit knocking it down. And it's kind of been, her and Abby Johns going back and forth. Podkol with 13, Johns with 14. And 29-25 as we go into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this has been a real great game against a 6A opponent for Kiski. Holding them to 25 so far. Hempfield still battling in it. As 29-25 is the score. 14 for Johns for Kiski and 5 for Koliani. 13 for Podkol for the Spartans. McCoy still sitting at 4. A lot of players sitting at 2 points.
Well, it's crunch time. Final 8 minutes of this game. Possibly. You never know. But both teams, I thought, really kind of came alive a little bit more in that third quarter. And see if that carries over.
Hempfield looking to get back level as McCoy puts it up, and it's good. They're going to need to run a few more plays like that.
Well, McCoy, when she's been successful, has done just that. Gotten into the paint, used her size to create some space, and then able to finish close to the rim.
Peck had thought about shooting for a second, but now returns it back to Johns, which is good. Abby Johns with 16.
Now that is just a really sweet play. Johns' defender over pursuing, goes back door, Peck finds her, and then a little lefty pull-up right at the free throw line. Floater there by Johns, drops it in.
McCoy, Hosnai works it inside. Podkol up, and no good.
Good move there by Podkol, just couldn't finish.
Coleman picks it in on her own, and once again back in the hands of the Spartans. Podkol drives under the basket, gets the pass out, and driving in is the freshman, Mads Pavernik. And now we're back to a 2-point game. Coleman. Poliani. Screen set by DeVito, but it wasn't a clean screen.
No, it was not. And I mean, she kind of stood there like, maybe if I stand really, really still, the official won't call it. But no, guilty on the moving screen right there was DeVito.
Substitution for the Cavaliers. Garcia checking back in for DeVito.
Well, DeVito's on the final score sheet there with a foul.
Yeah. Gia DeVito, one of the freshmen, working her way through the program. Some really nice plays in the JV game. Really exciting to see what she does in the future as another turnover for Hempfield.
That one looked like it got partially blocked over there by Peck, I believe.
Yeah, it might have. As they try to go for the steal away from Johns. Peck gives Johns some space, and she was double teamed on that shot.
You know, it's really amazing to me how well Johns shoots one-handed with that left hand, and then right-handed she shoots her threes. I mean, ambidextrous is the word.
Yeah. Out of bounds after the attempted steal by Garcia. Pavarnik out top of the three-point line. Dish out to Hosnai, back to Podkol. Takes a shot and rebounded to Coleman. Up to Koliani. Cavaliers have numbers to Johns. It's good. Abby Johns with 18. Now heading down to 5 minutes remaining. McCoy out. Pavarnik. No good. Rebounded by Johns. Coleman. Peck. Back. Coleman. And turned.
Oh,
back
man.
in the hands of Coleman. Wow.
Got a break right there, did Kiski.
Yeah, I thought Podkol was going to come up with that. Takes the free and makes it Emma Peck.
Timeout coming right here by Hempfield. And not a surprise. I mean, looked like you're going to have a turnover right there. Ball somehow ends up back in Coleman's hands. Fires it across court to Peck. She nails the three right there. Boy, oh boy, that's a 5-point swing.
Yeah, that is. That is a... if Kiski ends up coming out on top, that might be one of the plays that does the most to decide it. Timeout here called by Hempfield. Johns is now up to 18. The three-pointer from Emma Peck puts the junior on the score sheet.
Yeah, huge shot right there by Peck. I mean, under 5 minutes left in regulation. You got to have some confidence to pull that shot. She certainly showed it right there, knocked it down. Sometimes when you got a scorer like Abby Johns, you kind of get into a habit of just maybe watching them or maybe trying to feed them because, look, they're hot. But you got to be able to have the confidence to take your shot too, and give credit to Peck. She did just that.
So Hempfield are going to inbound this ball. They're trailing by 7. There's going to be about 4.5 minutes remaining, 4:34 to be exact, in the fourth quarter. Podkul still out there running point. She has 13 of the 29 points Hempfield has scored. And she'll take it up the court. Dishes it left side, McCoy. Shipman in the corner and taken away by Garcia.
Boy, she is reading those passes seriously like a cornerback. I mean, it's perfect anticipation by Garcia. She's picked off a few.
Garcia driving in and jump ball called. Kiski possession.
That's a good play, though, by Hempfield as Garcia was going hard to the hoop, being able to tie her up, force another jump ball, which we haven't said that much since the first quarter.
No. As Coleman dishes his back to Johns. If you're just tuning in, 36-29, halfway through the fourth. And yeah, we had a whole lot of jump balls in the first.
Oh, man. The first quarter, we had 6, for sure. Oh,
as
man.
McCoy tried to take it away. There's a foul. It's going to be on Coleman.
No, it's going to be on McCoy.
McCoy.
And that's her fourth.
I thought I heard the.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I saw it.
You know, Abby Johns, apologies, Eddie, you called it. But the way that Abby Johns just went over there and got on the sidelines for the ball, I thought it's going against McCoy. That's why I flashed a little 4 at you, because that would have been her 4th foul, but maybe just Abby Johns trying to sell it a little bit.
Well, instead, it is Cora Coleman's 4th foul. She will head to the bench. 3:40 remaining. Hempfield's going to need to start scoring soon if they want to claw their way back into this game. And taken away from by Johns. Abby Johns driving in. Charge call.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, full head of steam right there. You know your defender's getting back to not try and block you or not try and foul you, of course. They're trying to get back and establish position. And sometimes right there, you know, the desire to score is so strong that you know what's going to happen. You plow through it anyway. Right there, Johns would have been better served to drop it off. They had numbers.
3:15 remaining. 7-point lead for the Kiski area Cavaliers as the pass is tipped by Coliani. Gets in the corner. McCoy. No good. Rebound Garcia.
Another board there for Garcia. Tracking him down today. She's been great on the glass.
Johns. Back to Zoe Holm. Garcia to Johns. 2:45 remaining. We might see Kiski try to slow down the play a bit. As they get it to Coliani. Hempfield's going to need a turnover here. They're going to need Kiski to make a mistake. Something's going to happen because Kiski, they look like they're ready to just run this clock to 0.
Might as well bleed it if you can. Oh, right there. Johns could have tried something slick, but veteran move. Kept the ball in her hand, waited for a safe pass.
Johns up, no good. McCoy. And the Cavaliers took 35 seconds off the clock on that possession alone. Down and no good.
I'll tell you what, though, Coach Williamson was not pleased with the shot that Abby Johns put up. Sometimes when you see a shot like that, I like to look down and see what the coach's reaction is because he was not happy.
Yeah. 1:45 remaining. And Kiski with a travel.
Yeah, that I don't even know what you'd call it. You got to dribble. You know,
Yeah,
it was like, I got the ball, now I'm going to jump and land. You can't do that.
right.
You know, if you want to jump stop, you have to have a dribble first.
Heading down to a minute and a half, still 7-point lead for the Cavaliers. Pass over in the corner. And shot up and off by Podkul. Rebounded. Guess who? Rakai Garcia.
Oh, man, in there, like, turnover right there.
Turnover. McCoy in and blocked. And
timeout called here. Coach Williamson quick on it. Didn't want that jump ball because the possession arrow pointing towards Hempfield. But what I was going to say about Garcia, I mean, she boxed out two girls right there and got up higher and skied and just ripped that rebound down, Eddie. I mean, really a great game by Rakaya Garcia on the glass tonight.
yeah, and I'd say generally that, the Spartans have a size advantage over Kiski, especially inside. But you certainly wouldn't be able to tell that's the case because whenever Hempfield puts a shot up, they've been struggling to get the offensive rebounds because Garcia and Johns have been fighting so hard for them.
Well, we got 71 seconds left here. Kiski 7-point lead.
Curious to see what Hempfield do on this inbound.
Now you're going to get the full court, it looks like. Full court man, maybe? Let's see how they match up. Yeah, it looks like full court man. Well, let's get the camera over there so you can actually see it. Too busy trying to analyze the play. Oh!
And
well, she's got a little wad of gauze in the nose right there. She must have caught one earlier. Didn't see when that happened, but right there, good play by, was that Miller?
yeah, Iana Martin at the line. The first shot taken in bonus. And jump ball. Still Hempfield possession.
Break right there for Hempfield as Martin, I believe I called her Miller. It was actually Martin that made that steal. But misses the free throw first half of the 1-and-1.
Hasanai misses. Hempfield now down to 65 seconds. They're going to need his shots to start falling. As that one's up and off. Rebounded. And taken up the court. Cavalier ball. Coliani, right side. Dishes it over. Coleman. Johns is fouled with 47.6 on the clock.
Well, I'll tell you what right there, Johns, she took the foul. They still have a foul to give before we get into the 1-and-1, but she could have made another swing pass right there to take a little bit more time off the clock before the foul.
Coleman. Over to Johns, left wing. And
got that foul. Still, though, another, 12 seconds, or excuse me, 8 seconds off the clock right there.
Yeah, and one more Hempfield foul would put the Cavaliers in bonus. Coleman outside Coliani. This is the Johns, and they intentionally foul Abby Johns.
Here's where, this is just me and my idea as a coach, but when you're up more than one possession, and you know they're going to foul, keep moving that ball. Try and take absolutely as much time off the clock as possible. Now, I understand you don't want to be throwing it around if you're only up 2 or 3.
Missed by Johns. Rebounded. Shipman takes it up. Moves in and good from Podkul, and timeout called by the Spartans. They trail by 5, 21.7 on the clock.
See, now right now, you're only up 5 points. I would say be a little bit more cautious with the ball, but still try and move it. Try and take some time off the clock. You can't score a 5-point basket. So we'll see what Coach Williamson draws up down there. I always like a coach who gets the whiteboard out, and not just a regular whiteboard, Eddie. The whiteboard that shows the key, that has half court, and you can draw up full court plays. That's what coaches need. Every coach needs one of those. You know, I'm so old. When I played, my coach had a clipboard with several Xerox printouts of what the court looked like, and he had a pencil. So he would draw it in pencil, and then, you know, we'd go around the plane and just crumple it up and throw it. We didn't have these fancy things like erasable whiteboards.
Timeout coming to a close. 5-point lead for Kiski. And who do they put the ball in the hands of?
Well, right now, you see, again, the full court man, and you're going to send somebody deep and bring Johns underneath, and that's exactly what they do.
So they're going to send Johns to the line. It's going to be a 1-and-1. So,
well, I'll tell you what, for as good as Abby Johns has been tonight, 18 points, leads all scorers, she has struggled a bit from the free throw line, Eddie.
yeah. Johns is 18. And off. Rebound. Garcia, and timeout called by the Cavaliers. There's now 14.9.
Well, another rebound in a key situation by Rakaya Garcia, and she almost let it slip away there. It's like you get that rebound underneath, and your immediate reaction is, I want to go right back up with it. Obviously, we're down to the final, I don't even remember how many seconds. Tell me.
Yeah, 14.
14, okay. I was going to say 15, so I was close.
Yeah.
The final 14 seconds, you need to wait for them to foul you. But the instincts are like, I'm going to maybe power dribble and go back up. That's what you try to do. Nearly popped the ball away. Luckily got it back.
So Kiski's going to inbound this. 14.9 seconds on the clock. And they get it back to Johns, who holds it and is fouled. But
well, they call it jump ball.
They call it jump ball.
How about that? You know, after a little bit of a lull in jump balls, we've gotten a few here in the fourth quarter.
I think the intent was the foul.
Yeah,
Johns.
I think so too.
So Kiski took 2.5 off the clock then, and they'll take more seconds off the clock now. Back to Johns, who puts it up. No good. Williamson not happy with that shot as jump ball again.
Only fitting that the final 2.5 seconds, there's a jump ball called. Looks like Kiski's going to win this one, Eddie.
Yeah, the start of the Dave Williamson era in Kiski area, his first home game. They beat 6A Hempfield by a score of 36-31. Both teams scoring way below their season averages, but incredible defensive game, especially from Rakaya Garcia.
Yeah, Rakaya Garcia, I mean, Abby Johns, of course, 18 points. She does a lot out there. Forced a bunch of turnovers, but I feel like Rakaya Garcia, especially getting bloodied up there at the end, you can see. I don't know if that's a lip. It looks like kind of a lip maybe, but.
No, that's not her lip.
Oh, man, what is that? Oh, yeah, she's bloodied up.
Yeah, she is.
I think it is her lip. Oh, yeah. She might have bit her tongue. Those are the worst, Eddie, I'm telling you. But either way, I feel like she's player of the game tonight. She did everything for the Cavaliers. Just tremendous defense, so many turnovers, and the rebounding. So key in a 5-point game. You look at those rebounds, Rakaya Garcia, huge game.
Yeah, the sophomore taking such a huge step up this season, and she was such a huge part of this win. Kiski pick up their first win in 4 games. They bring their record back to 2-3. Hempfield dropped to 500. They're going to sit at 2-2. The next game for Hempfield is going to be on Friday night. They're going to be traveling to Ringgold. Bit of a trip for the Spartans.
Yeah, that is.
And on Thursday night, Kiski's going to be taking on Mars in our doubleheader we're going to be at.
Yeah, you can catch the boys and girls of Kiski area here on High Top Sports Network on Thursday night. That's going to do it for us here at Kiski Area High School. 36-31 Cavaliers victorious in their home opener. Eddie Fuhrer, welcome back.
Very good to be back.
Well, it's good to have you, sir, and congratulations on everything you've been accomplishing out there at Lehigh. And we're very excited you're going to be back for your break here and on the mic. I know several folks in this area are excited as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season of Kiski area basketball. 36-31 is our final score tonight here on High Top Sports Network. I'm Eddie Fuhrer. I'm joined here by Josh Schreckengost. Well, we're very glad for you guys to tune in, and we hope you guys have a good night.